Now, a very good morning to you. Welcome to the programme. We're with you until 11:30. Wouldn't you know that it's Des Kenny that'd be causing trouble in studio? Des, morning to you.
Good morning, Keith. Have you got your running shoes on?
I have, yeah.
Oh, baby.
I should have polished them before you came this morning. Yeah. I should have polished them. You brought Noel Barrett, your personal trainer, with you.
Two personal trainers. One each side of the city, just in case I can't make it.
I'll tell you one thing, lads. Between
today's traffic, who knows?
Sarah Thornton, you have your hands full. Do you know that, lad?
Absolutely.
Did you realise that?
They love me, really, you know.
Now that we are looking, though, at training and the optimal health for sport, what are you up to, Des, can I ask?
Well, about 2 or 3 weeks ago, Shane Fitzgibbon came into me and handed me this book. And being as I am training for the kind of marathon and have been training for 4 marathons, thanks to the lads around me, I was able to do it. I kind of looked at it with interest, but as I looked into it, I saw this is a bit more than the normal book on training for sports. There's a lot more detail in this. There's a lot more effort put into this. I was very, very taken about it, and given the fact that we're in March and that everybody's dusting off the old winter blues, getting out, and the days are getting longer, the mornings longer, and getting out running and all the rest of it, this is an ideal time to look at a book like this, because even for somebody like me, the plodder on the ground, to the 2 experts on each side of me, there is something for everybody in this book. From my point of view, I'm finding all sorts of small little things in it. One of the things I liked in it actually was the thing on failure, and the Chinese proverb, for example, that reads, the temptation to quit will be greatest just before you are about to succeed. As he always says, the darkest hours before the dawn. And to a certain degree, that's a great, those sort of things when you're out running and you're looking at 2 more miles, oh God, will I make it? And this thing jumps into your mind, God damn it, I will, and you go. And these things are very, very helpful. But as well as that, he gives terrific help in it with regards to things like stretching, preparing yourself, warming up, things that, generally speaking, guys in the street like me tend to ignore to their cost. And so I thought that, you know, having 2 colleagues, Noel Barrett here, who has been a great help to me in the Radisson since I joined her 5 years ago, and indeed Sarah Thornton, who started training me many, many moons ago and brought me from being the fat slug that I was to the less fat slug that I am. And, you know, who actually has made me enjoy all this. I thought they might like to talk about from their point of view.
Yeah, and it's a no-hold-barred interview, Noel Barrett, so it is from Spirit One Spa and the Radisson. You read the book as well?
I did indeed, yeah.
How'd you find it?
It was very good. As Des said, it goes through a lot. From my aspect of it, I'm in college as well. It's very detailed. It's well researched, well put together. It's definitely one to read.
And when Des is talking about training there and the difficulties in training, and like, I mean, Des would agree it's been it would be a struggle, Des. I mean,
you're fighting yourself all the time.
Yeah,
your biggest opponent is yourself.
Do you come across that all the time?
In the gym, yeah, I do come across an awful lot, especially with clients, especially when they first start out. They're to get tired at the start of the sessions when you're coming through, and they find it hard to keep the motivation to keep themselves going, so they're able to keep coming back to you to keep training or even going to the gym themselves.
And do they try to avoid you? No.
They tend to avoid the door more than anything else. If they avoid the door, they can avoid me.
The biggest problem with the gym, Keith, is that once you're in it, you're in it.
Yeah, you're in it. But when you look at the books, though, Noel, I mean, obviously, it's very well. It gives you a breakdown, blow by blow account as to the correct way and the wrong way to do things.
It does indeed, yeah. It's very well detailed, and it's well written so that anyone can read it. You don't have to be a gym rat to read it. If you've never been in one, you can still read it and understand it. There's no
and you don't have to be in one to use this book.
No, you don't either. No, there's very he gives great adaptions for outside training and all that. There's very little to do with machines or any gym equipment in it.
And he has it very well illustrated.
Yeah, there's pictures for everything, and I think it's, as I said, for anyone that's never read a book before, it's very well read out and easy to follow along.
And looks at diets as well. 5 colour of fruit and veg per day. Goes through all of that. Sarah, how are you? I'm so, stay with us, Noel. There. I'm so glad that you survived this whole experience.
I know it was very tough, but we got through it in the end, and we're still going through it. It's still a journey.
And like Noel, I mean, would you come across people that will get a burst of energy and say, "I'm going to go and I'm going to do it," and then they avoid you like the plague?
Absolutely. Well, I tend to hound them if they are trying to avoid me. But absolutely, it's you know, getting fit and losing weight are or whatever is not an easy job. You know, it requires changing lifestyle, changing habits, and really giving it priority in people's lives. So
as you get older, is it more difficult? I'm looking at myself here, guys.
It is, yes. It can get more difficult from a physiological point of view, and just purely you might be just set in your ways about things, and you've been just doing the same thing for years. So a lot of it comes down to changing people's mindset, and that's what I like about that book. He covers psychology, which is great, and you know, which is an aspect that is really important when you're trying to motivate people.
I was going to say, is that a very important aspect of trying to lose weight?
Absolutely. Trying to just understand the person, where they're coming from, and what the challenges they have psychologically to overcome, to actually, you know, get fitter, to lose their weight, whatever, you know. So I think once people understand what their barriers are, what's stopping them from losing weight, or what's stopping them from getting exercise, or what's stopping them from eating correctly, then you've got Eureka. Then they understand, and it all starts happening.
Do yourself and Mike, Mike, your mic is open as well. Do people come back to you then and say, by the way, there was a point I was going to walk away, guys, but I decided not to, and now I'm glad I didn't?
Yeah, lots of times.
Definitely, yeah, we just get that, especially after they've reached their goals, they come back to us, say, thank you for pushing me, keeping me here, as Sarah said, hounding me, kept me back.
For somebody listening to us at home, and again, both your mics are open, what's the most effective way of losing weight if you're not in a gym? Is it walking? Is it swimming? Is it, I know, forget the pushing back from the table and all that, what's the most effective exercise to help you lose weight?
I would say it'd be a combination of cardio exercise, and cardio exercise challenge you. A lot of people walk the prom, and they come into me and go, I'm walking the prom every day, and they're not losing weight. And a lot of the time your body's just used to walking the prom, and it's flat and there's not much challenge in it. So it's important that you find an exercise or type of cardio exercise that challenges, that raises the heart rate, and gives which increases the calorie burn. And also what's very good is resistance exercises, and now you don't have to lift huge big weights here. It's actually just building up a little bit of muscle mass, which helps you burn more calories at rest. And so if a combination of two of those will work, definitely. And you don't need to be using weights in the gym. You can use weights at home or use your furniture, and that's what I do. I give lots of people workouts to do at home.
Hang on a second now.
Yeah.
Use your furniture.
I can show you how to do a tricep dip off your chair right now.
Off.
If we only had a TV.
What are we doing? Lifting the city?
One of the things actually that has been mentioned that I like a lot about that book, and particularly as you get older, it becomes very, very important when you're training, is that he has nice little tips in it right through about how to avoid injury. And when I first told Sarah, or confessed to her that I was going to do the Dublin City Marathon, she said to me at the time, well, I have two jobs. She said, the first job is to get you through the marathon without injury, and the second one is to make sure you enjoy it. And as you get older, the injuries can come quicker than you expect them, and in ways that you don't know. And because you're older, obviously, it takes you much longer to recover. And what Shane has in his book, he's little tips here and there that tell you to avoid injury, where the muscles, to avoid getting the muscles stiff, to do the importance of, like I said earlier, the warm-up, which I don't always accede to, but certainly of the stretches at the end of it, and the rest periods are extremely important.
I thought the third person, Sarah, you would be ringing his Galway City Council to warn them he was on the way, but no, you didn't have to do that. No, you were saying that you're at college as well. I mean, I know you're very highly trained in the whole side of things, a personal trainer. What are you studying in college?
Studying down at University of Limerick with NCF, just furthering on my fitness career. Really? I'm studying for a diploma in exercise and fitness and health, and hopefully go on to a BSc and a Masters after that.
So you really intend on being in the health business for
see how it goes.
Yeah. And does it frustrate both of you, yourself and Sarah, does it frustrate you when you see people not looking after themselves?
It can indeed, but it's people's lives as well. It's harder for them. They might have bigger priorities in their life than getting into the gym, or even looking after themselves by walking the prom or finding something to do. So it does frustrate, but it's understandable.
Sarah, frustrates you?
Absolutely, because it would make them feel so much better, and it would help them to cope with their daily stresses and the busyness that the busy days that people have, and busy lives that people have these days. So it is, you just love to do it for them, but you can't do it for them. People just have to do it themselves.
All right, so Training and Optimal Health for Sports by Shane Fitzgibbon. Give it you're very happy with it?
I'm very, very happy with it. The beauty about it is that it's comprehensive. I would see it. There are bits in it I didn't understand because they were too technical, but then there were sides in it that helped to get the technical part. And Shane has a very, very useful glossary at the back of all the technical terms for us plebs as well.
Are you bringing me into that?
Yes, sir.
Hierarchy of
I want to see you do the marathon. You know that'll be fun.
I'm going to do Crowpatrick's. I'm in June. On the 15th of June, I'm doing Crowpatrick's.
Well,
Oh, very good.
Yeah, so we are. Yeah, I'm bringing you with me, but I didn't
That's
tell you
fine.
that yet.
Oh, that's great.
Okay,
That's
yeah.
great.
I'm going to leave you up there. All right, guys. Thanks, Steve, for joining us. Sarah Thornton, personal trainer. Noel Barrett, personal trainer, and working indeed in the Spirit One Fitness Centre in the Radisson. And Des Kenny. Just Des Kenny of Des Kenny's bookstore. Kenny's.ie. Yeah. So Sarah's going to give you some.